Alright, so how can we sell this new IP we just made?
A dinosaur.
Yeah, dinosaurs are cool and all, but what if we made just one change? Robot dinosaurs! Horizon Zero Dawn stars Aloy without the L, so it's Aloy. A redhead who is really good with the bow, makes me want to do sit-ups, and has that one expression. You know the one. And her story is set in the future where humanity has almost been wiped out, where evil machines wander the lands with only a handful of humans, now sort of like early cavemen, trying to survive in this new world. But the funny thing is that the marketing really made people think it's all about robot dinosaurs. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? But I'm sorry to say there are only 2 in the whole game. These little guys, and oh dear lord, is that a robot fire-breathing T-Rex? But that's it. The rest are just animals, but...
Robot.
Well, we start with Kid Aloy, who is an outcast from the Nora tribe, with her adoptive father, Rost.
Children, come with me.
And due to this, she gets shunned and runs off annoyed, falling down a hole. And in a normal open game world, you think, oh gee, a cave. It's like goblins and trolls, like a fantasy game, or what the hell, it's all sci-fi. So yeah, because we went extinct, humans are called the Old Ones, and the cities and buildings are now the ruins of this world. And she finds a headpiece on this corpse which shows her this is a focus that allows her to see holograms, open doors of the Old Ones, use their networks and view data logs like this. Well, she is saved by Rost, and back home she's all annoyed because she doesn't know who her mother is, why she's being shunned, and why she's being forced to eat broccoli. And I know what you're thinking. Gee, how the heck can they grow broccoli in this land? Don't worry, it will all be explained by the end of the video. But Rost tells her that only the Nora tribe matriarchs know why, but as an outcast, she doesn't get the right to know. And then we get some training to save this dopey looking Nora kid, where our focus shows the parts the machines take, and you can hide in bushes like a celebrity stalker. After this, Aloy sulks off and... What the hell, you little? That's so mean! And this pops up a feature where you get to choose how she reacts. Compassionate, big brain, or angry. These don't affect the story, but it helps mold Aloy into someone you want for your playthrough. And for me, you little cretin, you're getting a rock to the face! Damn, Dad, are you Legolas or something?
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard!
Well, he sees how this outcast thing is troubling her, and says if Aloy can win the Proving, a competition that allows kids to become Nora Braves, and if she wins the whole thing, she will get a chance to ask the matriarchs any question in the world, and that she shouldn't waste it on why she has to eat broccoli. So we get a Rocky-style training montage, and she combat rolls into an adult, now ready to fight in the Proving. But first, it seems like Rost has gone missing.
He's just standing there.
You're here.
When you said we were gonna go hunting, I didn't realize you meant I'd have to track you down.
So Ross sends us out to get a new weapon, and this is where you experience the open world. And oh my goodness, it's beautiful! I can't believe a place like this exists! Where is it based on? Colorado, USA? Anyway, Aloy's main weapon is a bow, because I guess guns are robot only. You know, this game would have been so much quicker if Aloy just got a gun. Well, you need to craft arrows by picking up these parts in the overworld, as well as health that you press up on the D-pad to heal. It really emphasizes early on, you need to be collecting everything. Then you have these machine animals who have weak spots you can sense with your focusing. It lets you slow down time for a bit because you're a long-range warrior. And hey, don't come any closer! You do get a spear with light and heavy attacks alongside a dodge roll, and these can all be upgraded. And when you kill a machine, you can scavenge them for parts you will need later on. So pretty much, the gameplay is Aloy running around, sneaking up on monsters to take them out silently, or going nuts and killing everything, all the while collecting everything you can. Damn, I can't believe KFC survived the apocalypse.
Nutritious.
So Aloy has the means to survive the future robotic wilds of Colorado. Bro, do they have washing machines? Because those clothes are gonna be so disgusting.
Probably needed the wash.
So yeah, I really love this open world, especially the rain and weather. What other game would blast this much water on screen to actually lower your vision? I love it so much. Also, you get the usual type of modern day platforming where you have to jump at the yellow markers in physics-defying stunts. But here, Aloy, sometimes it just doesn't feel right. So we grab the trip mine weapon and Ross takes us outside the tribe area to train on a super machine.
Now we must both keep silent, for we are outside of the embrace. These are the true wild.
This is a sawtooth that, oh god.
It's huge.
and you learn that machines have type weaknesses, some weak to electricity, fire, ice, or just a shotgun. Told you she needs a gun. So we are ready to take on the proving, where Ross says, look, my work here is done. I'll never see you again since I'll still be an outcast. And with a teary goodbye, we head into the main city. Wow, these big city folk are so weird. And wandering around, you actually notice that every single NPC has voice dialogue, mostly annoyed at you.
And dream of winning the proving. That's the closest you're gonna get.
Oh, this is the bedhouse? With you standing guard, I figured it was the latrine.
You were very present here.
It does make the world feel incredibly alive, where you can just sit back and watch the festivities.
Why do you have to go climbing houses?
Do a backflip! Well, anyway, Aloy sees a group of outsiders who bring news of peace from the new king of Kaja, Avad, who overthrew his dad, who was constantly attacking and killing the Nora. And he's flanked by an Osram called Olin, who has a focus like Aloy. She gets so excited because, I really doubt she'll find another redhead in this damn world. So this focus is the only thing someone has in common with her. But he goes, damn, I kinda don't care. Meanwhile, the Kaja priest tries to warm up the crowd. Why were the utensils stuck together?
Why?
Because they were spooning.
Hey, hold your fruit, Nora.
This is the Kaja Vanguard leader called Erend, and he's the best. Mostly for his voice, and also his facial hair.
Nice.
And give a Nora warmaid like you more trouble than she can handle.
Did he just propose? He says how we should come over to Meriden, the capital of Kaja, to meet his sister, because he's already thinking of the marriage between him and Aloy.
Ring locked, impact protected.
He's fun. I like him.
And when you talk to the many NPCs, you get optional dialogue that builds on the world if you want. I love how it's all voiced too, it really made me want to hear it all. And tomorrow's the big day, so Aloy sleeps with the other candidates. And hey, it's the kid who threw the rock when we were little. Good, now that Roster's gone, I'm gonna give him such a thrashing.
You've never slept in a Nora lodge before. Not very private.
Comforts and distractions. That's what I think.
Not all comforts are bad.
Comforts are weakness.
You sound just like my mother.
Well, the trial involves us killing a machine and claiming its heart, but our rock boy sabotages us, and we try and complain, but the toilet guard is the one watching the group, so that's not gonna work. And this means we fall behind, so Aloy, being her crazy self,
Nutritious.
decides to take the beaten path, which is way more dangerous, but we win due to main characteritis, and get crowned a Nora Brave. And now we have the right to ask the matriarchs the question of who is our mother.
Among you.
Surprise, it's an attack, where this group comes in and kills all the Braves, and all seems lost until Rost from out of nowhere saves us, but then does that stereotypical dad and gaming thing, and dies, pushing us off with the last of his breath. I knew they should have turned off the fall damage. And so Aloy is saved by the matriarchs and has weird visions.
Aloy, I'm so sorry.
And she collects her stuff alongside a focus she picked up off the killer, and from it, Aloy learns that they were sent to kill her specifically, and only knew how she looked like because of Olin's focus, meaning he's a traitor. And the only reason we were targeted was because Aloy looks like this random called Elizabeth Sovek. I mean, sure, we do look like her. Maybe she's our mother?
The mountain is your mother.
How does that work?
Come.
What are you talking about?
So Aloy was found in the mountains as a baby.
We heard your cries, came to look, and there you were.
Just lying there?
And it's odd since the mountain is from our time, meaning it's very sci-fi to these people, so something screwy is going on here. However, even though we almost look like the mother character, we can't enter as the registry is corrupted. I also love the storytelling in this game, as everything robotic seems normal to us, you know, like near future-ish, but instead is seen as godly to these tribes. Like, we as the player know what this means, but they take it as the goddess speaking to them. So Tisa tells us we must solve the corruption to talk to the mountain, and anoints us as a seeker, meaning Aloy has permission to leave the mountain. So one day I'm an outcast, the next day I'm your star hero to travel the world?
I can go anywhere at all. No restrictions.
Even to forbidden places.
I see.
However, just as she's about to leave, where this big one is corrupting the others to do its bidding, and upon killing it, Aloy extracts the part for herself.
Worth a shot. Couple loops of wire.
You know you're just talking to yourself, right?
Boom.
This new part allows Aloy to stealthily convert machines to help you fight, or even to ride certain ones, and trust me, you will need to do this because the map is huge. You do get a fast travel to camps, but firstly, it costs money. And is Aloy rich?
Nutritious.
I don't think so, but you do get to a point where you get unlimited fast travel. And also, oh my god, playing a game on a PS4 has never felt more infuriating. It takes sometimes up to 30 seconds to load after fast traveling. The further away you go, the longer it takes. I seriously don't know how the sequel is gonna handle running on a base PS4. I mean, just look at it! And also with the upgrades, you do get one later that allows you to call a rideable machine whenever you want. I highly recommend this because first it acts like a decoy in fights where it will attack enemies on its own. Or you can also attack while on its back. And so begins the actual open world where you can go anywhere you want. Perhaps the main quest, which takes you to Meridian and through many different environments and all sorts of monsters like gazelles, bulls, giant vultures, and even robotic crocodiles. I'm fanboying and dying so hard right now. And also you get these giraffes called tall necks that you have to climb to unlock the map. You know, the old Assassin's Creed tower thing that can't seem to leave gaming. And man, with Aloy not climbing so cleanly, I was always sweating so hard whenever I had to climb this. You also get other collectibles like metal flowers.
Well, why not?
Or coffee cups, which is amusing that people think they are like magical devices.
People didn't just drink out of them?
Drink? Out of such finely crafted earthenware? Don't be ridiculous!
Then vantages, which are like windows into the old world. And many catalogs and collectibles to remind you of the past, which is our present. It's kinda cool how this is clearly a city street, but it's treated as an ancient ruin. Aloy also has many side quests you can do for people, like Val, whose mother, a war chief, has gone missing, and I love it because every single NPC has voice dialogue, meaning I actually cared for a lot of the side quests, which never happens in games like this. Oh sure, the quests themselves are the usual. Oh, machines have killed my friends are missing, my friends marry the machines. Wait, what was that third one? But because they have a personality, I really cared for a lot of them. Like knockoff Jack Sparrow here. His name is Nil, and he's a serial killer.
Did bandits wrong you somehow?
They wrong us all.
So you hunt them?
No. For sport.
No, well, he killed a lot of people in the wars, but now in no wars, he goes out killing bandits because he misses it so much. Yeah, so serial killer. He helps you take out the bandits and really wants you to get into the whole thing.
Feels good, doesn't it? Hold it inside you one last breath, then let it out.
Ugh.
I mean, you try and like if,
Makes you wish you could kill them more than once, doesn't it?
No, once is enough.
You're right, of course. Once is enough. When you really make it count.
Okay, goodbye, Nil.
But then Aloy just keeps meeting up with him. She's like, God, I hate Nil. But next minute, me and my bestie. The whole bandit camp is so weird too. Like, as soon as you clear it out, your people just take over, but the bodies are still there.
I'm trying to eat lunch here.
Well, anyway, we make it to Kaja after some.
Truly, the sun shines upon us this day.
And also, hey, there's a photo mode in this game where, oh no.
Gather the rocks.
And in Kaja, we get to do a lot of things like quests involving Erin's sister taken captive. And I mean, that's like a whole nother thing with him.
All the way to Meridian just to see me?
Have you been drinking?
Not really. A little.
Seriously, why is every NPC trying to hit on Aloy?
A well-molded woman such as you. Outlander. Wait, did we just talk?
You can't remember?
You all have similar features. Striking features. Very striking.
It involves trying to find out what the Shadow Kaja group are doing, sneaking around trying to overthrow the government.
Oh, that was subtle.
And you're just standing there with your Google AR glasses trying to solve how to open Olin's wine cellar.
I did say not to break anything, didn't I?
Oh yeah, there's a bomb too.
Look, lady, if I was you, I would just leap into the air as I'm preparing to do.
And then you learn about the rumors that King Avad was in love with Erin's sister.
And some people say they shacked up, but I don't buy it. Seems a little skinny for her.
Oh, okay, some bad images are forming in my head. Let's just focus on finding her.
And then you eventually track down the sister, who dies, and it's very sad. But then you go back to the king and he's like, oh yeah, I was in love with her. She was a strong and independent woman. Hey, that's just what you are. Wanna rock the Casbah?
Now you're asking me to take her place. Is this a job offer or a proposition?
But yeah, anyway, Aaron's best boy.
I'll always have a minute for you. Maybe even 2.
2? Huh. She likes me.
I actually kind of like how the game doesn't force any romantic interest on her, but they leave enough open with many different characters if you want to pair people up in your head, because you're a person who hates loneliness. Anyway, we find out from all this that Olin was working with these cultists called the Eclipse, who worship this god called Hades. However, he was only working for them since they threatened his family, and that they were only targeting us because we resembled that Sobek person, and tells us that we can find more of her holograms at this place somewhere in the mountains. Aloy then gets the choice to kill Olin, and I am playing an angry Aloy who hates her damn broccoli, so...
Ouch.
Such is life. Well, she heads over to that place where a mysterious stranger hacks into her focus called Silence. He guides Aloy in his own way to try and find answers to this mystery as she parkours her way into the old ruins, where we learn that it was a Pharaoh military base where Pharaoh was a CEO 1,000 years ago that sold peacekeeper war robots that were able to self-replicate with AI and use biomass as fuel, but they went out of control and began killing everything on the planet. The military then decided to fight the robots to distract them long enough for Elizabeth, who was a brilliant scientist, to launch her Project Zero Dawn, something that will save humanity. And I mean, it had to work because, you know, everyone is still alive, yet we don't know what exactly she did. Silence also acts so cocky for someone not risking his life trying to get all this information.
I've got bigger problems to deal with than your crap.
Congratulations. You just graduated from whining to throwing a temper tantrum. I'm sure Elizabeth would be proud.
He seems to be someone who helped the Eclipse earlier in his life, but regrets what he did, and helps Aloy to try and make up for it. Well, time to leave?
Super fun happy side!
And we get even more side quests like saving this person from her evil brother.
Killing you myself,
And we also meet Petra, who is a crazy weapons master, where we get to try out a grenade launcher with unlimited ammo.
Don't press it against your hips if you ever want to use those for... Alright, I got it.
It's still crazy this game has destructible environments in the open world. Maybe that's why the loading takes so damn long. Well, the town gives us a quest to find this couple who love each other but keep arguing.
By fire and spit, Jorgri! Stop asking questions!
I'm about to spit fire! He asks questions because he likes you. He lost the herd to spend more time with you. And Jagris is here instead of Caliph because you wanted to spend more time with him. Now let's get this herd!
Aloy helps them and they fall in love. Aww.
Sometimes when I'm really getting into smelting, I straddle the anvil.
Looking forward to quenching the forge.
The fire gets low, he can squeeze the bellows. All right already!
Also, I want to mention how hiding in the bushes de-alerts the enemies, but also bugs the AI if they spotted you beforehand, leading to some quite funny moments.
I gotta aim! I'm gonna find you, then you'll be sorry.
There, the power cell.
You'll get yours when the clan blows in. Town's good as torched.
Okay, that was a little strange.
And I thought at this point, okay, I've been around, I've seen all the machines, but then suddenly this, a sandworm thing! That's honestly way more terrifying than any robot T-Rex. Well, Silence tells us that underneath the Citadel, the Shadow Kaja capital, is where Sobek launched Zero Dawn. So this is where we will learn more about it. And before that, I quickly did some side quests like hunting a T-Rex with the Hunter's Lodge and finishing up with Nil, where once you get all the bandits, he actually gets sad and asks you to fight and kill him to end his suffering. I said no because I liked him, and he genuinely seemed devastated.
It's true, I offered you the choice, but my heart is broken.
Well, at the Citadel, we get... God, even more flirting.
Fernand, my eyes are up here.
I'm looking at your spear.
There's also hunting grounds, which are like combat challenges, run by even more interesting NPCs.
He stinks of fish again. That sort of thing. I don't stink of fish, do I?
No, it's more like Wet fur.
Doing them later in the game really made it easier with your higher level. Alright, well, let's continue the story. As we learn through many holograms that Zero Dawn is actually an Earth terraforming AI they built called Gaia. It was created so that they could reseed Earth with plants and rebirth humans with stored DNA, at the same time cracking the code to turn off the Pharaoh robots, eventually making it so humanity could repopulate a normal Earth again. And to help the AI with this, its mind was broken into sections all named after Greek gods, like Hephaestus and Hades. Apollo was its system that would store all human knowledge and be used again by the new humans to bring them up to speed and not have to learn science and math all over again. However, Pharaoh, the CEO, was like,
I don't want to live on this planet anymore,
and had a change of heart, deleting Apollo, resulting in Aloy's humans not knowing anything about the previous world when they came back, hence treating anything technological as a holy entity. They also learned that Hades' role was to do controlled extinction of the new humanity. If it found they were born into a hostile Earth, like the reseeding didn't work, it would kill them. So Gaia would try again with the next batch, but for some reason, something made it go rogue, and now it has the cult Eclipse worshipping it. Now, one thing I hated about all this is that it plays in engine, meaning you can run around, but if you move too far forward, oh no, Aloy begins to interrupt you with something new, ruining all the lore I was just getting.
Which part? It's a little...
I've seen these shapes before.
So then you're literally just standing still, worried anything you will do will ruin the lore. It might as well just have been cutscenes. And in Sobek's office, Aloy downloaded the registry she needed to enter the Birth Mountain. But at that moment, Eclipse captures her, led by Helis, who was that dude who killed Rost at the Proving, and she's sentenced to death at the Citadel.
If you're gonna go on babbling like this all night, could you just kill me now?
Oh no. We're in no hurry, you and I.
Maybe some physical torture to distract me from your voice?
It was cool how he mentioned the side quest you did, like we killed some Shadow Kaja leader in an earlier one, and I just love that about this game. The side quest really felt worthwhile in the long run.
You're an idiot.
I also have to mention I got a weapon that really felt like a shotgun. I really love it. Well, Silence physically saves us, then runs off again because he hates being out in the open, I don't know. And we head back to Nora, where we see the entire place in ruins as the Eclipse have waged war on the tribe. However, we save them, walking in like, sup dudes, here to save the world, and head to open the mountain door where we see most of the allies we made on the journey, including
Hello,
angry
Resh.
toilet guard.
Still guarding the latrine?
Well, we see here how a lot of the early humans were raised after being born from the DNA, and how Gaia lost out to Hades, where a signal of unknown origin corrupted it, forcing it to take over Gaia, who then self-destructed to prevent it from completing its goal, meaning the terraforming process was never fully completed. However, her final act was to create a clone of Sobek to be able to restore Gaia and destroy Hades in the future, and that clone is Aloy. Yep, that's why she looks like her, because she's her clone, and why she can open all her access doors, and why Hades sent Eclipse to kill her.
I never had a mother.
What are you talking about? You had two, a dead woman and a machine.
God, I love Silence banter. Also, Sobek died because one time the doors didn't close properly, so she manually went outside to close them to save the facility and died to the machines. Well, upon returning, the Nora think Aloy is the chosen one, since the goddess spoke to her, but she's like,
today we're going to learn a new word. No.
She gets so annoyed that her whole life they hated her, and now suddenly she's to be worshipped? Like this one matriarch who hated her guts now bows down non-stop.
Now why don't you try keeping your mouth closed?
And we learn about Ross and why he was banished from the Nora in the first place, as Nora can't leave the region due to their rules, but the outsiders came and killed his family, so he asked to be made a Death Seeker, one who was allowed to go out and kill the outsiders. But as one, he was no longer a Nora, so when he returned, the matriarchs felt sorry for him, and just let him stay on their lands as an outcast, and then gave him baby Aloy to help get over his daughter's murder. And we can also talk to Resh again.
Nora have lost too many, Resh. But in your case, I guess they can lose one more.
Jeez, I didn't even get a choice! She genuinely hates this man! Well, Gaia tells us that we need to grab the Master Override, which is on this other mountain. That's where the game does everything it can to make Aloy always climb things. And Silence tells us that he actually was the founder of Eclipse, who discovered Hades in a shell of a huge Titan machine, and it told him so much knowledge on the old ones in return for favors like learning about the Spire, a huge monument in Meridian that Hades wants to use to reawaken all the Pharaoh warbots, robots to continue destroying Earth. The dude really sold out humanity for calculus, huh? So you were evil! But look at him. He's learned his lesson. He just wants to make up for his mistakes. So back to Meridian to tell Avad to rally everyone against the incoming machines. They will try everything to get Hades to the Spire. And here you see everyone you helped on your journey. Yes, even Nil.
But where you must go now, I can't follow.
And of course Eren with his soldiers.
Ugly and ancient? Like your mother?
Worse, like your wife.
Who he tries to rally.
And what are we gonna do?
You just can't leave me alone, can you?
I think she likes you.
You gonna kiss her, Captain?
Shut up. Your friend, the Vanguard, keeps looking over.
And it was cool when you run through the city, all the NPCs change their generic dialogue to match what's happening in the world right now. And no way back, we fight Hellas and kill him with no chill.
Life was a failure, and soon no one will even remember you. Turn your face to the sun and think about that.
But Aloy gets knocked out as the machines connect Hades, where he begins the revival process. But we eventually fight our way through to him and use the override to save the day. And the game ends sort of abruptly, showing Aloy finding Sobek's body and picking up her pendant, before then showing people pulling out the spear on Hades. Why is there no police tape here? Seems kind of irresponsible to leave it unguarded. And Hades flies back to a catcher Silence has, who wants more knowledge. Oh no, he's evil. Again. And he seemingly looks to wake up a giant machine titan before the game ends. I swear so many of these modern games these days keep ending on teasers to sequels. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is a game not really about robot dinosaurs, but actually about cavemen meeting sci-fi, which is actually our current day stuff, alongside a really fun open world, an amazing integration of side quests, and way too much of this facial expression. I really liked Aloy by the end of it. She felt like such a fresh air for a main character, with her own motivations and goals, and she would try to do things herself.
Said I needed help.
You'll clear the valley, all by yourself.
I'm good with a bow.
And I loved how this world mixed in a caveman-like setting with future sci-fi technology, but it was also kind of odd how by the end it felt like a prologue. I mean, you only saw one of the Greek parts of Gaia, and you didn't kill it, and we don't even know what happened to the many others. And honestly, the only real criticism I have is how slow it is loading on a base PS4. I shudder to think how this will work for the sequel. So why am I playing Horizon Zero Dawn's DLC, The Frozen Wilds? And I mean, they kept advertising it on the main menu, but oh, what's this? Half price? I mean, sure, oh my goodness, no! As someone here, it's a dream come true! Yes, the DLC takes place in the snowy north, called The Cut.
I like it, cut, G.
Which opens up the main world as you're meant to play it after a certain point in the main game. You know where you learn about Greek gods. And I love this, it's so cold and wintry. And Aloy really isn't dressed for this, but I don't know how they did it, because this game's snow technology is amazing. Seriously, look at these tracks. Look at what happens when I slide on the ground. Snow angels too? How'd they do this? How many particles are in this world? Oh. The loading is twice as long as the main game on a base PS4. This is such a monkey's paw trade-off.
That sounds ominous.
So the Cut is home to the Banuk tribe, where dangerous new machines have appeared after the mountain spat out smoke. And these machines... Oh no. Down, boy! Where's the fire hose? So Aloy learns from the leader, Aratek, that they have been trying to fight a daemon on the mountain.
This daemon you talked about.
We also learn more of this from a shopkeeper called Bergren.
By machines. When the Rhea vanished, I thought that...
He also mentions how we should visit his daughter.
You're both, how do I put it?
Woman.
So yeah, this place is nice and cold, filled with more NPCs for side quests, you know, just like the main game. Like this artist who needs you to find more paint for her.
That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter.
Haven't met many artists, have you?
Yeah. And there's this rare item called Blue Gleam, which you can use to buy new weapons and armor. I kinda wish you had a new set at the start just so you could look different for the trip, and maybe not have her abs become rock solid due to freezing. But I did like how they had new abilities for you to unlock, like getting more item storage, and the ability to recycle useless items you have. They knew how filled you were by the end of the base game, and seriously, thank you for this feature. And so Aloy can wander the snowy area filled with snow, and more snow. And there's this one tall neck for you to open up the map, but you have to revive it and then jump on its head once it wakes up. Aloy, you do know you could have jumped on its head before it got up?
So small.
Huh?
Nutritious.
Oh. There's also these control towers which make this cool sound. They keep corrupting enemies, making them aggressive, but also healing them up. It adds more challenge since you either got to take the enemies out quickly or override it first. Then there's this quest where someone lost their instrument as their home got flooded, and heading upstream, you actually understand the problem. Well, you, not Aloy because she's a cave woman.
Women?
That it's a dam, and you and this explorer called Gildan.
So you found the button that controls the floater.
Quite by accident.
And then you broke that button.
Also, quite by accident.
Have to lower the water to find his treasure. He's incredibly talkative.
I'm reminded of a delve I undertook out.
Well, we stopped the flood to see exactly what the instrument was that the girl was playing, and she's banging on the pipes. Yeah, that's a totally cool sound. You should start a band. And yes, as I mentioned before, the loading is incredibly long, even just teleporting to another camp in the same region, which I really think is due to the snow technology. You legit have to wait for 1 full minute for it to load on a base PS4.
What the dog doing?
Well, we have to find Aratek's sister, Aurea, a shaman who keeps wanting the tribe to take back the fiery mountain to stop the machines. But her brother says no because they keep losing warriors each time. So to her hideout, which takes us to this cave where we actually got kinda lost in.
Better go back after I grab this loot.
And up we go to where she stays, but also see... Hell, a robot bear? A robot bear? That's so cool, and oh god, I'm gonna die.
Machine down.
Oh, yeah, she wouldn't even know it's called a bear. I love the world building in this series. Well, at the top we see it's an old one facility, where the optional dialogues show a team of people very different to any in the main game.
Every time she brushed by and I smelled her hair.
Very different. And we find the shaman who is sad she can't speak to her spirit friend, which we know as an AI. But Aloy can after solving this fun minigame, turning the points to make the light hit each one of them. And the AI speaks to us, saying how the daemon is trying to cut them off. So Aurea begs us to help save it, as the spirit was her only friend who listened to all her problems, like a big robotic cat. And we agree. So the first order of business is to take over her tribe. Whoa, hey, wait! I'm just here on holiday! She says we have to defeat Aratek in a challenge, so that Aloy can then give her permission as the leader to enter the mountain. Remember, all these tribes are very strict with their rules. Aloy is like, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, I can add it to my resume. And so begins the challenge.
I will not risk my sister's life again.
Then we better get on with this.
So be it, slam in the frozen ground!
Enough!
And it involves us killing machines in a time limit, but at the final checkpoint, we get ambushed by not just 1, but 3 robot bears.
Nice to see you.
Well, since we did all the hard work, Aratek acknowledges us as the new chieftain, and we agree that he can accompany us and Aurea to the mountain. But before that, I cleaned up some more side quests that involve us helping this trio learn how to hunt machines, and also how to name their group because they are seriously terrible.
Can't you just stick it back together?
I just meant...
Oh, I bet that scam artist Arsharim could. He just wants to send us on another stupid errand. Oh, he's not so bad. Nearly die under the feet of a Thunderjaw, and...
Boys, shut up! Ugh.
Well, we also defeat a bandit leader and get a flamethrower, alongside a lightning and ice weapon, which can all be upgraded by talking to Bergren's daughter, who I later learned has a funny fourth wall breaking dialogue if you specifically upgrade the lightning weapon last. Yes, I did it first, because you see how broken it is? So yeah, just do it last and talk to her before upgrading for the funny. Okay, I'm still kind of annoyed at this. And that quest for the lightning weapon has us traveling back to the base game's map. Oh no! Well, after all these quests, we get enough blue gleam to get a new outfit, alongside another quest where we have to lawyer up and defend this dude who was wrongly accused of murder. No, there's no lawyering here. It's the year 3000, no one needs lawyers.
Who among us?
No! And we meet this crazy old man.
Is this what...
Hush, hush.
Is this what you wanted me to find?
So now begins the three's journey into the Fire Mountain, which I thought was very clever of the game, how they perform a smoke ritual to open the door, when in actuality the facility opened up due to the smoke tripping the fire alarm. And everything seems fine and...
Look out, more machines.
Why me? Well, we see more of the old employees and learn that this was actually built on top of Yellowstone National Park, a place in our real world that has a super volcano underneath, ready to blow in the near future. And Pharaoh built this place before we went full military to try and stop that from happening. And since this is a volcano, the land is very fertile, which is actually where the people here grew their broccoli that Aloy was forced to eat as a kid. Wait, is that really the reason? So they meet Araya's friend, who is an AI called Cyan that was created to manage the place to stop the volcano exploding. However, Damon took over the facility, causing all these new fire enemies to spawn. I mean, it's natural for them to be fiery. There's lava everywhere. What? No, I thought it would just damage you. And Damon tries to stop us by summoning a T-Rex. And it works, because it fell on top of me and I got stuck and I can't get out. I'm playing as a strong, red-headed archer who takes no nonsense, stuck inside a robotic T-Rex 1,000 years in the future. This is somebody's dream. So further in we go with possibly two of the worst climbing sections in the entire game. I got lost here twice and it's not enjoyable at all. Funny how the DLC made the climbing worse but also balanced it by adding fun puzzles. And solving that puzzle makes Cyan tells us that she can remove the daemon if we override her core. And the daemon is actually Hephaestus, a subsystem mentioned in the base game. And its role was to make the machines that would help repopulate the earth, like wildlife to graze in the grass, robot beasts to pollinate flowers and sort on, you know, that sort of thing. And the three reach the final room where Aloy attempts to override the core, but it's too much. So Araya finishes the job, which works, but kills her in the process. Couldn't have made this safe for humans to use, huh? Cyan is then able to destroy the corruption and sends herself to Araya's hideout, safely far away to remotely manage the facility from there. Aloy and Aratek then barely escape, and all I'm thinking is, man, snow must be really soft. Well, Aloy goes to that backup place where Aratek is talking to Cyan to get closure on his sister by watching old recordings of her talking to the AI. And then Cyan speaks to us and we learn it's way more emotional than we thought.
I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
And we learn more about the Yellowstone thing and that Hephaestus is still active somewhere. And we'll try and build more machines to kill humans sometime later in the future, maybe in a sequel, I don't know. This seems kinda like, you know, maybe we should have got rid of him. Aloy then hands the chieftain status to Aratek and yep, the main mission is complete. You can still do some more side quests like a final one which has you defeating 5 giant fire bears, which was, yeah, you know, just a little bit chaotic. And also you do learn a little about Silence, that friend from the main game, and how he did interact with the tribe, which is how he got the blue gleam into his body, which I don't know if it gives you powers, but it makes you very blue. And yeah, the DLC is complete. I mean, firstly, wow, this snow tech is really crazy. It's justifying the long loading times, but also it improved on the character animations. They felt so much more dynamic. Really good stuff to balance the horrible climbing segments in that facility. Other than that, it sort of ends in a way that you don't really need to play it for the main game since the boss isn't fully defeated, but it does add to the world's lore, which I love. Also, robotic bears are definitely a thing that exists in this world now. Well, I'm happy I was able to, years later, beat this and the main game. And I'm super excited for the sequel whenever I get around to it. Oh my god, you can swing like Spider-Man!
Spider-Woman.
And if you enjoyed that, you can click the video on screen to see some more from me.